Hello, it's Nia Patton here, talking to you again about skincare. Today I wanted to speak to you about pilling. So not like what happens in a nightclub. Pilling is when you're using a skincare product and you find that it feels like dead skin's coming away on your fingertips. And it's not actually dead skin, it's the actual skincare coming away from your face in horrible gel like little balls, which is really annoying because you spend a lot of time applying the skincare and it feels like it's just coming off your face. So I'll give you a few tips now how to minimize pilling. So firstly, the products you might find pilling with, I usually get that with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide and buffet. Those are my worst contenders. I guess you might get it with other things as well, but and particularly if you're applying an oil on top of them. So, you know, for these products, let me just grab them. For instance, buffet, that's one of the main contenders. Niacinamide and hyaluronic acid as well. That I find particularly sticky. I have a bottle of it, but I don't really use it because of the stickiness. Tip 1, exfoliate. A lot of the people, because I moderate the Ordinary chat room on Facebook, we've got around 150,000 members, and so we see a lot of people talking about the Ordinary, and we get a gist of what's helped other people. So one of the things that people report have helped is regular exfoliation. So preparing your face by taking away the dead skin makes it easier for the skin to absorb product rather than letting it sit on top, so then when you apply the next layer it balls up. So a little bit of exfoliation. Don't go nuts, 2 or 3 times a week is enough. One type of acid is enough. Just pick one. So pick a lactic acid or glycolic or the peel. There's no need for all 3 or 4. It's too much. Next tip is dampness. So ideally you want to be applying hyaluronic acid and buffet, anything that contains hyaluronic acid, to a damp face, because it just helps everything absorb better and it gives something for the hyaluronic acid to soak up. So I think this is going to be a theme, isn't it? Me spraying my face with water on camera. So what I just did, this used to be Niacinamide superoxide dismutase saccharide mist, the beautiful lovely thing that it is, but now it's got simple, kind to skin, soothing facial toner, 100% alcohol and fragrance free, which is just to help the product to absorb and to just sort of hydrate between layers of skincare. It's cheap, so it's good. So moist, damp skin, it doesn't like the word damp. And then you've got your hyaluronic acid. There you go. So this is kind of a gel-like product. It's quite thick. I actually have given up on it. I don't like it because you do get this pilling effect. There's other things I find hydrating that doesn't cause the pale. Like marine hyaluronics from the Ordinary. That's pretty good. That's hydrating. And so now I kind of got a little bit of a stickiness to my face. And then you can dampen your hands again. And that can help it to absorb. So, and then if I've applied my Gibson oil, so this is borage, because that's the one I just picked up, that I have on the side. Let's imagine now, so it might well be that, I hope things are going to pill now, because I want to show you what to do if they do pill. Oh, it's not, the damp trace worked. Okay, so that feels really nice. Oh, I love an oil, but I think they give me blackheads. So let's imagine that I'm doing this and it's all balling up. Like, oh no, my skin care is ruined. What am I going to do? So then you get the mist again, and the mist, just pat that on, smooth it in, and you'll find that the mist will redissolve all those little bally bits, and it'll settle back into your skin. So that's my top tip if things have already started pilling, is to mist again. you'll find everything absorbing better with more water, more hydration in your skin. Try not to rub too much, so you know, just pat it in, and then when it's in a nice even layer, just leave it at that. Don't faff around with it too much because you'll start balling it up again. Another tip, if you want to use up these pill prone products that we have, because you know they don't sit very nice under makeup. I used to find when I was using Buffet in the morning that I think everything was fine. I get to work, I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my god, my foundation looks stupid. So yeah, sometimes something might not work for you in the way that you were using it, and you can just sort of repurpose it slightly to add an extra dimension to your moisturiser. So I've just grabbed a blob of NMF. So it's quite a plain, bland moisturiser, and it's got ingredients in there that are good for your skin barrier. And if you want to make that a little bit more hydratey, you can add a bit of hyaluronic acid, or if you want it to sort of adapt it to tackle acne a little bit more, then you could add a bit of niacinamide, and that will also reduce the likelihood that you'll get the pilling effect as well. I'm going to enjoy a bit of white face, and it helps the niacinamide sink into your skin. I find that niacinamide tingles a little bit when it goes on, which is strange. It's nice though, I like a tingle, don't you? It's working, lovely. Another little tip is to try and avoid using too much product. So you just need the tiniest little bit, maybe just 1 blob, 2 blobs, 2 droplets out of the dropper, because it's quite thick stuff. You don't really need all that much of it. Just the tiniest little bit so that it spreads over your face, and that's enough. The more you put on, the more likelihood you're going to get things balling up for yourself. Fab. So I just want to recap on my tips. So to avoid pilling with products that have a gel sort of serum consistency from The Ordinary, like Buffet, niacinamide, Buffet with copper even as well, and hyaluronic acid. First tip would be apply to a damp face, and that'll help it sink in. Second tip would be to exfoliate regularly, not too regularly, maybe just a couple of times a week. Don't want to burn your face. Tip 3 is to mist. So misting between layers helps to absorb, helps the product to absorb, and if the product starts to pill, mist or pat some watery toner onto your hands and pat that onto your face, and that'll help the pilling to re-dissolve, and it should sink in a bit better. Next tip is to mix the product in with a little bit of moisturiser. That can help to use up product that you found is pilling too much, or it's useful to prevent the pilling altogether. The other thing to do is just to use the tiniest little amount of product. So you might find that a bit of pilling is sort of inevitable. If you work the product in too much, then you're more likely to get more pilling occurring. So just keep it light on the application, use a tiny little bit, and keep it moist as well. And that's it for my pilling tips. I'll be back soon because I'm really enjoying doing this. It's fun. And any questions, anything you want me to cover, I mainly do The Ordinary. I am a little bit obsessed with it, and I spent a lot of time advising people on The Ordinary group on Facebook. So any questions you've got about The Ordinary, drop them down in the comments and I'll get to them. Take care, stay safe, stay indoors. Bye. So to recap on my pilling tips, if